This tutorial is all about animating text on a path within After Effects. I'm going to break this into two parts. First, I'm going to show you how to add a text to a path and cover the basic path options. This is very quick and will take about a minute to cover. Then I'm going to share 3 time-saving tips. First, I'll show you how to quickly add movement with an expression. Next, I'll show you how to easily repeat text on a path. And last, I'll show you how to color text on a path in bulk so there's no need to change colors one by one. First step is beginner friendly, but after that, the tutorial is more suitable for intermediate users. I'm discussing some more complex techniques, so do keep that in mind if you are just starting out with After Effects. I'm going to go ahead and leave the timestamps for this below, so feel free to jump around where you need. Right, the first thing we want for a text on a path is a text layer. So I'm going to grab my text tool, type out the text that I want. And then I'm going to select my text and I'm going to put a mask onto this. So you could draw out a mask with the pen tool. For now, I'm just going to draw an ellipse with my shape tool right here. I'm going to hold down shift to make a perfect circle and just drag this out onto my layer. So down here in my layer you can see I've got a mask sitting here. Now we want to get this text onto this path, so this is super easy to do. We're going to drop down into the text drop down, and right here under path options I'm going to click into this, and on path I'm just going to select mask 1. So I'll just give you a quick rundown of these options. Right here, if I click reverse path, it's going to change which side of the path the text is sitting on. If I choose perpendicular to path, it's going to make the text straight up instead of sitting on the path itself. Choosing force alignment is going to space the text out across the entirety of the path. And adjusting the first and last margin is changing the value of where this text is sitting on the path as well. To add some movement, we can adjust this first and last margin. Now, you could add keyframes here, and of course it has its place. For example, I'll add a keyframe here, move it forward a couple seconds, move it up to here. And if I press space, it will play through. However, if you just want to add some movement and you don't want to mess around with keyframes, you can do something else. I'll just delete these for now. You can hold down Alt on the stopwatch, and in this little box you can type in time times 100, and that's just going to add movement to your path continuously throughout the composition. This expression does not have to be 100. For example, I could change it to 20 and that will slow it down. I could also change it to 800 and it will speed it up significantly, so you can have a play around with those values. One interesting thing to note though is if your path is open, for example, I'll just get my pen tool and draw a path here, it will actually just fly straight off the edge and not come back. So do keep that in mind if you've got an open path, but I'll just change it back to this for now. So something that's been quite popular lately is kind of looping text. You saw it on my thumbnails, and you've seen it all over templates, and I'll check some examples on the screen. But I'm gonna recreate that right now. One way that you could do it is to grab your text tool, copy your text, Control C, and just manually paste a few copies in, which is fine to do. I will always say that sometimes manually has its place. My text is overlapping, I might want to bring the scale down or add some gaps manually in here. It's all a bit finicky, and I don't love that. I like things to be a bit easier. See, I've even lost the beginning. I've lost my first text. It's just I don't love that way. So what is a quicker way that I can do that? I'm going to go to Effects and Presets, and you can see I've already typed it in, Echo. I'm going to grab the Echo effect and drop it onto my layer. Now, to show this effect, I kind of need some movement. So I'm going to go back to, before I add an expression, I'll show you without an expression. So I'll add a keyframe here, and then I'm going to kind of manually eyeball it, coming back to the same area. It's going to go round and then stop. Okay, so I'll just bring it out here. Now, at the point of the echo, I'm going to put in 3 echoes. And you can see it's not really made much of a difference there, and that is because of the echo time. So I'm going to drag this out, kind of to about here. And the interesting thing about this echo is, yeah, so it's moving forward, and when it's on minus, the echo is going to come around, the text is staying put, and it's going to move around and then start looping, okay? Where if instead of going minus, I go forward to about 3, the echo is going to move forward, it's starting here, move forward, and then all move into the text. I just wanted to explain that without the expression because it can be quite confusing, because my expression is actually going to get rid of that problem for us. So I'll just go back to 0. So I've reset it, and instead of adding keyframes, I'm just going to add a time times 100 and adjust the timing. With the keyframes, it was having an interesting effect on the text, whereas when I've just got this time times 100 on expression on there, it's actually not making a difference. It's just continuously looping around. So you might want to add some color to your text, and there is a few ways that you can do this. So I'm gonna press Ctrl D and duplicate my layer, and because I want to come back to this in a minute. So switch this off. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this echo off my layer. If I press play, I've still got my movement, and I'm going to show you how you can manually change color for your text. Control V, a couple of copies, and that's quite cool. I'm going to maybe change this to a blue, maybe make this version pink, and yeah, if I press play, my text is a few different colors. This could just be the easiest way for you. Maybe you're only working with 4 different text paths, and you know, if you wanted to, you could possibly go into animate and start even animating the colors. So you know, manual's got its place, but you know, you could be working with hundreds of these texts on a loop and just want some different colors in there. So I'm going to show you an option that might work for you. I'm going to come back to my text path, my original layer, and I just wanted to make note that on this layer with our echo, you can't even adjust these different colors. We can't touch it because it's just an effect on this single layer. If I change the color here, it's changing the entire echo effect. But there is another way. If you have a look over here at decay, and if I drag this number down, you'll see that my layer is starting to go from white down to black. So this isn't actually adjusting the color as such, but it is adjusting the opacity. If I switch my background off, you can see kind of that it's just kind of fading into nothing. So I'm going to add an effect to this to help us color our text. So I'm going to go to Effects and Presets and type in Colorama and drop this onto my layer. And you can see that it's actually colored it full red again, which isn't what we wanted. And the problem is that it is looking at the text and it is not recognizing the opacity. So to fix this, I'm going to come into input phase on my Colorama effect, and I'm going to go get phase from, and I'm going to change intensity to alpha. You can see on my layer it's just changed these 4 texts to different colors. So what is happening here, it's applying colors to the opacity layer. So if I'm just going to start like getting rid of some, and you can see where it was once red, it's now this pinky color. You can move stuff around. I'm going to get rid of these altogether. In fact, I'm going to get rid of blue and maybe add in a nice hot pink. And yeah, this is just a easy way to apply color. And if I play through, it's moving with it. If I were to go and adjust the phase, you can see that it's kind of cycling through which phase is getting which color. Another thing that you can do is adjust the cycle repetitions to change how many repetitions of the color is going on. And one more thing that you can do is on the echo, adjust the decay. So you're adjusting what colors going where. There is just one more issue that I wanted to draw your attention to, and it's to do with the alpha. It's something to do with the alpha edge of this text. So this is obviously not ideal. I'm going to go a little closer. It's kind of got this ugly pixel on it. So to fix this, my quick fix for this is going to Effects and Presets. I'm going to type in Matte and drop this onto my layer, Matte Choker. Drop it on, and you can see it's choked it, but I'm not loving how soft it is, so I'm kind of going to get rid of this grey level softness, bring this back. Going to pull it all in. I'm going to bring the choke way down, so I'm going to probably bring the choke into about maybe 1.8, something like that, and I'm just going to bring the choke up as well. So this is going to look different across different texts and across different fonts, and my point is just play around with it. Don't just try and copy my numbers, okay? It's just not going to work. Yeah, so if I turn that on and off, you can see it's kind of choked that alpha, so we're not getting this ugly pixel in my colored text path. If you found this video helpful, check out this video right here and see what else you can do within After Effects. See you in the next one. Bye!